What's up, guys? It's Brian doing some work. I know I need a haircut. I want to make an important video for a lot of people. I feel like you guys might not have the right directions or not any directions at all, and you're going based off of memory, and you'll definitely be confused if you're going off memory and you're not doing this every day. So this video is, if you have a generator and you have a plug, a 30 amp or a 50 amp, that's all they have for portables right now. The process to hook up when you lose power, and then the process to disconnect when you gain power, and then also the process of shutting down for just the 30-minute adding gasoline and checking your oil. Okay, so let's start with you losing power to the house and you're setting up the generator. Okay, all right, so let's say we get hit by a hurricane, or you lose power and you need power and you're gonna hook up the generator. All right, first of all, let's go ahead and just talk about a couple of things. A lot of houses have the panel in the garage, you know, the electrical panel with the breakers, blah blah blah. It's always like squared with, and then there's the breakers, and a lot of the times there's a big breaker that's kind of above the little breakers, and then sometimes it's just little breakers, and then the big breaker is actually outside where your meter is, your electrical meter. Okay, and so you got to pay attention to that because there's different processes in a way. So first of all, we're going to talk about if you have the panel in your garage or wherever that has the big meter, and then under it has the main meters. Okay, the little mini meters. Sorry, we're going to talk about the panel in your garage that has the big circuit breaker and then all the little circuit breakers under it. Okay, so if you have that, pay attention to this for hooking up. Okay, you lost power, you have no lights, whatever. Go out to your panel in the garage, or the one that I'm talking about with the big circuit breaker and then the small ones. Turn that big circuit breaker into the off position. Turn all of the little circuit breakers into the off position. You're gonna, if it's wired correctly, have a circuit breaker designated for your generator, which should be in the off position before anything. Like, it's already been in the off position. It's always in the off position when you're not using your generator, basically. Okay, leave that alone for right now, but just I want you to locate it. Okay, it's gonna be wherever your little hookup, your outlet is, where you would hook your cord up going from the generator to the panel. Okay, so you locate the generator circuit breaker, keep it in the off position, good to go. So you have turned off the main, you've turned off all your minis, you have located the generator circuit breaker. So everything should be off in your panel as of right now. Okay, take out the cord, take out your generator, hook it up. You can plug your cord in on both ends to the generator, to the panel, but don't turn anything on. Just do as I got disconnected. I gotta get a haircut. I've been so freaking busy. I gotta show you guys what my schedule looks like with all these freaking jobs. It's insane. But back to what we were talking about. So say you've been running the generator, the manual recommends every 12 hours, or obviously when you're running out of fuel.
In half a mile, use the left 2 lanes to take the exit toward I-75 south of Miami.
That, you gotta shut it down. You obviously have to shut it down because you gotta add fuel every once in a while, but these aren't made to be running 24/7, 10 days straight. They're just not. It is a good idea to whatever the manual says is what you need to follow. And I'm only going off of what I have seen in a manual. I don't know what unit, but do not go off of this. It's just an example. They say every 12 hours, they recommend you shut it down, let it cool down for 30 minutes, and check your oil level because it will burn oil. Some less than others, some more than others. Some, I bet you yours might not burn anything at all. And they just want you to pull the oil dipstick out. If yours doesn't have an oil dipstick where it has a long little piece that goes in to see on it, if it's just the cap that you unspin and there's nothing else, it's just the cap, then that means that you're supposed to fill your oil to the threads of where you turn and tighten your cap, okay? So basically you can't overfill it. You fill it up to the top. When you have a dipstick where it has an actual piece that goes in and there's a little checker that has like a, X's going up and you got to be in between that, like here's full, here's not full, you can overfill it. Make sure that you're staying right at the full or in between. You don't want to be way above it, okay? Because that can damage your engine. So anyways, we got to add fuel, right? Engine's been running. We know we got to add fuel. Okay, it's time to do that. What do we do? All right, go to your panel where the main breaker is, in the garage, and you have all the mini breakers. So right now we have certain breakers on, right? We've been powering what we want powered. We've got the refrigerator, we've got some fans, we've got the internet, we've got our portable AC in one room going. Okay, cool. So what you do is you want to turn everything in your on that breaker in the garage off again so that nothing is on, except obviously the generator breaker is going to be on, but turn that off too. Let's just do it. It's not, it's a good practice. Turn everything off on that breaker. Nothing will be on. Okay, everything's off. Good. Go to the generator. Shut it down. Press off, whatever you got to do to turn your generator off. Awesome. Now, let it sit. Let it sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Let it cool down. This is just what I've read in a manual before. Yours might not tell you to do that. And, you don't have to listen to me. If I, will I do that to my generator? If I have like an air-cooled and I'm running it for that long, yeah, when I shut it down, I'm going to let it chill for a little bit, cool down, and then I'm going to add my oil to check and see if I got to add oil. I'm going to refill it with fuel, and then I'll start it back up. Keep in mind that when you go to start it back up after it's been running for a while and it might be just a little warm, because obviously you'd have to wait a while for it to get like to room temperature. You might not have to put the choke into the all the way closed position. If you put it all the way, like when you're first starting your generator, you know how you put it all the way to the left or whatever it says. Some have them to the right. If you do that and you go to try and start it and it doesn't start, don't worry. Put the choke halfway. Try and start it. It'll probably kick on. If it doesn't, put it all the way to where you would have it if you were running it and start it, okay? Awesome. So we've refilled the fuel. We've checked for oil. And everything's good. It's cooled down. All right, we're going to start it back up. Awesome. We're good to go. Start your generator up. We already have the cord still connected. We've got all the breakers off at the panel in the garage. Awesome. Start your generator up. make sure, I mean, I didn't tell you to turn off the breaker at the generator, so you shouldn't, if you did that, fine, but it's a step that you didn't need to do because we already have turned off the breakers at the panel. So we're not starting that generator and we're not hitting it with any load because of that. So that's why I didn't tell you to turn off the breaker at your generator. So anyways, generator, we started up, cool, it's running, great. Go to your panel in the garage and turn back on the generator breaker now. Okay, cool. You turn back on that generator breaker that's labeled generator. The main is still off. The top one, the big one, is still off. Sometimes the main is included with all these mini ones. You will see it. It's labeled main. That has to stay off, right? That's off. And then go ahead, after you turn on your generator breaker, go ahead and turn on all of the little circuits that you want your generator to power. Once you have that, verify that the stuff you want on is working and that you have power. Cool, awesome, everything is good, and we've covered that startup and shutdown. So we've covered when you lose power at the very beginning what the steps are. Awesome. We've covered when you have to refuel and check oil, what the steps are. Awesome. Now we're gonna do when the storm or whatever has passed, the neighborhood has gotten power back fully. Awesome. So in this case, what you do is go to the garage, go ahead and turn off all of your little breakers that are on because you're powering them with the generator. Turn them all off. Turn the generator breaker off. Okay, that's it for right now. Don't you dare turn the main on or any of that. We got the generator breaker off. We've got all of the little breakers off. So basically everything is off in your panel that is in the garage. Okay, cool. Now, go to your generator, turn it off, or you can let it cool down for a little bit. I would probably let it run for like 10 minutes with nothing on it and it's gonna cool down, cool, awesome. You waited 10 minutes, you shut her down. Shut the generator down. Okay, generator's off. Disconnect the cords from the generator and from the panel, cool. All right, go and turn off or turn on now the main breaker. Okay, you turn on the main breaker, awesome. So we've got the generator cords disconnected, the generator is off, so there's no way for us to backfeed in case someone were to mess up a step right now. If you listen to me completely, nothing bad will happen. So, turn on the main, awesome. Go ahead and turn on all of the breakers in your panel now, since you have regular power back. Okay, verify that, the electricity is working correctly. Awesome, cool. Go ahead and either let the generator cool down where it's at. If it is, put her away where you normally do. If this is for a person living in Florida or, hurricane area and hurricane season is over and you rarely ever lose power and you're not going to mess with the generator for a long time, burn off the remaining fuel. Okay? And when you burn off that remaining fuel and the generator shuts down from lack of fuel, what I want you to do is try and start it again. If it shuts down because there's barely any fuel, okay, give it a couple seconds, like 30 seconds, try and start it again. It might start back up and run really sloppy and choppy from the lack of fuel again, and then shut back down. I want you to do that a third time. If it stops turning on because there's literally no fuel left, that's awesome. Go ahead, turn off the fuel shut off, which is located right under the tank most of the time. Turn that in the off position and go ahead and pull it 10 more times. Pull and try and start your generator 10 more times. What that's going to do is get all of the remaining fuel that is in the fuel line and in the carburetor completely out. And that is what always causes 90% of the issues for when homeowners, have a generator, they let it sit for 3 months and it won't start. Well, you won't have that issue anymore. Basically, what I just told you to do is, you got rid of all of the fuel, and then when you shut the fuel valve off, and then you crank it again, you're sucking all the fuel that's left in the carburetor and the fuel line out completely also. So no clogging of fuel. And that's that. You're good to go. So hopefully this helped you. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.